Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a great weekend here. Well, unfortunately we have ourselves a bit of severe weather that is heading our way throughout today. So the severe weather is going to be mostly a nighttime event. I'm going to go ahead and say that right off the bat so you guys can know that. The event's not really expected to start kicking off until like midnight. And that's kind of a concern because, you know, nighttime activity, especially tornadoes and stuff like that's not very good, but we'll get into that here in a minute. But what's up, everybody? Welcome. Gonna go ahead and give everybody a warm welcome here. We have coverage. We have, let's see here. We have fun. We have tabletop. We have Peachy, John. First of all, Mark, dude, coming in with a $5 donation earlier. Thank you so much, man. That means a lot to me. Helps me out a ton. Big thank you, Mark. I appreciate that, man. We got Tom. We have Marcus. Let's see. We'll scroll down a little bit. Crazy Path, David, Dixie, Kristen, Zach. Let's see here. Chris, Jeff. Let's see. Gaming, Clint, Xavier, Darian, and of course everybody else who is just hanging out here. Not really chatting, but just hanging out. So, well, we got some new development here. Storm Prediction Center has issued a enhanced risk now. We're at a level 3 threat overall for severe weather today. Like I mentioned, the main threat's going to be later on tonight overall. So the event's not really expected to start anytime soon. This is kind of just a bit of an update. Well, we might do some zip codes. I think we might actually do some zip code forecasting here towards the end of the live stream. We're just going to get through everything first and, you know, get everybody situated. But eventually we will be doing that. But yeah, look at that. They added an enhanced risk here for today. So that does include areas out there by like Abilene, Wichita Falls, Lawton, Oklahoma. Let's see here. Burnett, Texas, and Vernon, Texas. You guys are in the enhanced risk. Now, we do have a 5% chance for tornadoes today, which is a decent tornadic concern. We got ourselves like southwestern and central portions here of Oklahoma, as well as the kind of west central and western portion here of Texas in that severe weather threat here for today. And like I said, the 5% the brown here basically means that within a 25-mile radius of your location, if you're in the brown, there's a 5% chance a tornado will drop within that radius. So, you know, odds are still fairly low. I mean, the odds are that you're probably not going to see a tornado, but we do need you guys to be weather aware because there's also other concerns regarding the severe weather event, such as like significant damaging winds and stuff like that. Speaking of, the Storm Prediction Center actually put a 30% hatch risk for significant wind damage being a possibility. We're thinking that those winds could be in excess of 70 to 80 miles an hour. So we'll have to see how that plays out, because basically what we're doing here is later tonight we're going to get this large squall line, this long line of storms to roll through, which, you know, like I said, could become an issue. What's up, Beth? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. What's up, Wendy? Good evening or good afternoon. Hope you're doing good. But yeah, so like I said, we'll definitely be watching this. I do plan on doing coverage later on tonight with you guys. Like I said, it's gonna be an overnight concern, or an overnight coverage. The big concern is like I mentioned, the fact that we basically have this activity at nighttime. Nocturnal tornadoes and stuff like that's a real big concern. So as this line kind of rolls through here, I mean, obviously we're going to be seeing that potential for damaging winds, but the thing is that, we could get some tornadoes. I mean, because we do have a pretty decent sized 5% tornado risk here today. This area in brown here is a decent risk for, a couple tornadoes today. So you guys make sure that you have a way of receiving warnings. Like I said, I will be live later for at least part of this to help give you guys the info, and we'll be going over this in like real time and everything like that for you all. So we'll get you guys updated. But yeah, 5% chance out there for tornadoes and stuff like that. But the problem is like we mentioned, is that there is a chance, those tornadoes that could develop in that deep. Heavy rainfall, and the problem with that is the fact that if you do get tornadoes that develop in the line, they can be obscured basically by a bunch of rainfall, which basically just has a bunch of curtains that wrap around, a bunch of rain curtains that just wrap around the storm, which could make it impossible to see. So do not rely on seeing anything tonight, because you would not be able to. Okay, so if you get a warning, you need to take it very seriously. Okay, that's what I want you guys to do. Let's see here. Just gotta. No way, dude. Proxy coming in with a $75 donation. Holy cow, dude. Proxy, thank you so much for that. Saying glad to see you're streaming, Andrew. Thanks for keeping us safe and informed as usual. You're the best. Proxy, thank you for the 75, dude. Wow. That is really, really sweet of you. I appreciate that. I'll put that to good use, and actually, I'll actually use that for my month's subscriptions for these programs, which that'll help out a ton. Thank you so much, Prox. Much appreciated. That is really, really sweet of you. I deeply appreciate your support. Thank you so much. But yeah, so like we mentioned, we do have a pretty decent sized tornado risk today. Actually, that 5% risk almost kind of does go in towards areas near Oklahoma City and stuff like that. So we'll have to look out there for that overall. Norman's in the 5% chance overall for tornadic activity. We have like Wichita Falls areas here too, Abilene, San Angelo, and stuff like that. Dude, oh my gosh. Also, Proxy, a Category 5 supporter for 26 months. Wow, dude. Proxy, thank you so much once again for your support. It means the world to me. It helps me out a ton. Like I said, I put in a lot of work and effort into these videos and these live streams, and it means a lot to me. Just knowing that we can help you guys out and stuff like that. Dude, seriously, Prox, thank you so much for your support. That's just really, really sweet of you. Great to be here. Proud to be a member of support of the best weather stream community on YouTube. Rock on, Andrew. Thank you once again, Prox. Much love to you. I really appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. If you need anything, Prox, as always, feel free to let us know. But yeah, let's go and hop our way over the winds, because like I said, we do have that 30% hatch risk for damaging winds, and like we mentioned, areas out here by like Wichita Falls and whatnot. Is in that significant wind damage threat. Now the timing for storms regarding like the worst for the damaging winds is going to be taking place around 3 a.m. Central Time to roughly about 7 a.m. So about 3 to 7 a.m. Is going to be kind of the heaviest of the winds. Or the heaviest, of the greatest wind damage concern, or the greatest wind threat, I should just say, is going to be between like 3 and 7 a.m. Central Time. So we'll have to look out there for that. Let's see here. It's my birthday on Friday. Nice, Spencer. Well, happy early birthday to you. Well, yeah, so we'll keep an eye out there for that. Once again, we will be doing coverage tonight to help you guys out with everything. We'll keep you guys up to date, whether where. We do not have a hail threat, actually. We do not have any concern, really, for hail, which is good news. Not really expecting much on that front. Just, like I said, a tornado concern. So basically, we have two different levels of tornadic potential. We're going to turn on our state borders, make it a little bit easier for you guys to kind of see where the state borders are. So the green here, we have two different colors. We have the dark green and we have the brown. Now the brown is representing a 5% chance of tornadoes. So like I mentioned, within a 25-mile radius of your location, there's a 5% chance a tornado will drop in that radius, which it doesn't mean it'll be over you. It just means within a 25-mile radius of you, there's a 5% chance of a tornado dropping. So as you can imagine, I mean, it's a fairly low chance still, but with that being said, that there will likely be a couple tornadoes today, and it could end up that one of those tornadoes could end up near a town, near you if you're in the risk area. So just make sure you're ready to take action and know where to go in case of a tornado warning or something like that is issued for you guys. We want you guys to be on top of this. And of course, we have a 2% chance in the green here, which is, like I mentioned, the lowest threat for tornadoes, but it still is a threat. There is still a threat for potential tornadoes. The dark green here kind of represents that a few isolated tornadoes are possible. They become a little bit more common once we work our way into the 5% region, a little bit more concentrated tornado probability. So yeah, just make sure you guys are watching it, as we will likely have a couple tornadoes today. The good news is that we do not have a significant tornado risk. We do not have a hatch risk for tornadoes, which basically kind of limits our overall strength. So here's the thing. So the atmosphere here has really, really strong winds. There is going to be some ridiculous lower level winds screaming to the north, from the Gulf to the north. That would be a big concern if we had a lot of instability, like a lot of fuel for these storms. But the thing is that we're kind of lacking the fuel in this setup. There's not a lot of instability available for this system, which is good news. Obviously, that is great. It could be a whole lot worse, and I'm very thankful for that it's not. But anyways, so that's that. But there still is going to be that 20% potential. And when it comes to it, we're going to be seeing tornadic activity ranging, more than likely between like EF0 to EF2. There's no way being for sure that it will stay in that range, but, that's the expectancy. It's supposed to be lower range tornadic activity. But anyways, so no tornado significant risk, but we do have that significant wind damage risk. And like we mentioned, across the area here in this red kind of, white dashed area, this is representing where we could see some, significant wind damage. Winds possibly 70, 80 mile an hour or more potentially. We're going to have a big shot for damaging winds. And I mean, that's a 30% chance. Same thing, works the same way. So we'll use like Wichita Falls for an example. So basically, within a, wrong thing here. So within a 25-mile radius of Wichita Falls, so this is 25 miles right here. So basically within a 25-mile radius of Wichita Falls, somewhere inside of this area could experience wind damage, in which, possibly could be from winds, possibly 70, maybe 80 miles an hour or so, maybe slightly greater. We'll have to see. But yeah, damaging winds is going to be like the leading concern tonight. Plus a couple tornadoes, but like I mentioned, not really anything for hail today, thankfully, overall. Anna, thank you so much. Tropical Storm for 2 months. Appreciate it, Anna. Thank you for your support. Saying thanks for the amazing coverage from Houston, Texas. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. Could this be a delayed show? I don't think so. No, probably not. It is going to be a long-lived squall, but like I said, this event's kind of lacking in stability. It's probably just going to fizzle out into a bunch of showers and storms. But moving into tomorrow, we do actually have a risk for severe weather across, the dark green and the yellow here. The greatest concern for that severe weather is going to be like in these areas towards like Dallas, Fort Worth area, and like, central Oklahoma towards like OKC. Yeah, that's for tomorrow. But yeah, we could have severe weather as far to the north up there towards like Kansas City. And as far to the south here towards like, Mobile, Alabama. Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. We could get a couple severe storms out there tomorrow. But we're going to focus mostly on today for now. And as we get to tomorrow, we'll talk more about tomorrow's risk. But yeah, basically tonight is going to be the worst part of the storm overall. Let's see here. I keep telling my roommates not to talk to me after the stream is over. That's pretty funny. Let's see here. Think if there was a tornado being area hit? Hold on. I think if there was a tornado, it would be in that area too, but anywhere above Abilene. So that's the problem though, is that even south of Abilene there is a tornado risk out there. Still a 5%. I mean that goes all the way down towards like Big Lake area, which is just southwest, kind of west of San Angelo. So there's no way to be for sure, man. I mean, the risk does go south of Abilene. So you don't want to put your guard down if you're south of Abilene, okay? Like we mentioned, there's 2 different levels today of tornadic activity. We have the green here. This is the 2% risk area overall, which, you know, like I mentioned, is basically a 2% chance of a tornado happening within a 25-mile radius of your location. And then, of course, we have, you know, the 5%, which is, you know, obviously slightly higher. I mean, yeah, that even goes south of Abilene. So, you know, there's no way of being for sure, man. It could be south or north or, you know, just in this area is where most of that tornado activity will be contained for the most part. Let's see here. How's the set stream for? I saw something until the message was gone. I think you talked about 850 millibar level. So here's what I do want to look at with you guys real quickly. This is Mesoanalysis here. I want to look and see what kind of winds we're dealing with, because later tonight, as this low starts to develop here, the models, they were suggesting a lower level jet of like ridiculous speeds. It doesn't really show yet, because yeah, I mean this event's not going to really kick off until like tomorrow morning. Yeah, we're still quite a while away from that. Here, let's hop you guys over here real quickly. I want to pull up NAM just to kind of see what we got going on here. But yeah, that lower level jet that is going to be ripping later today. It's definitely pretty nuts. Yeah, look at that. Dude, that's just insane. Our lower level winds, so this is about 5,000 feet or so roughly at 850 millibar level height. So roughly about 5,000 feet or so. But look at that. Winds are going to be like 80, 90 miles an hour at that level. That is just ridiculous. You know, like I said, I'm just very thankful we do not have any instability, or hardly any instability, because if there was more juice, that could have been a lot worse. So I'm very thankful for that. I mean, because, yeah, I mean, if we had a lot of instability in that area there, that could have been a pretty nasty setup. But, you know, thankfully, most of that's contained. There's not a whole lot of instability available for this system here. To begin with, once that line starts to roll through, I mean, we got a fair amount, you know, 500 to about 750, somewhere upwards near like 800 joules per kilogram. I mean, that's not a whole lot of instability. That's not a whole lot of energy in the atmosphere. It's enough. It is enough to get some severe storms. But yeah, you can see that a lot of that instability gets swept up by that cold front there. By the time that lower level jet really kicks up across, like, you know, towards Oklahoma, there's at that point there's just kind of patches of low end instability, which is good. You know, without fuel, you ain't gonna get no storms really. And so, like I said, I'm just really thankful that, you know, we are very limited on that aspect. But we'll have to see. But I mean, regardless though, like damaging winds and stuff like that, it's going to be a really big concern here. Let's talk timing, guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably wondering like what kind of time frame we're expecting. So like we mentioned, it's going to be pretty early, or yeah, pretty late, depends on how you say it. So the event's not expected to really kick off until like tomorrow morning. I mean, it's a really late night event, y'all. So that line starts to kind of develop here. I mean, this is 10 p.m. Eastern, so that would be, you know, basically 9 Central, but this area is Mountain Time, I believe. So this would be right around like 8 p.m. or so. But anyways, Lubbock could start to see some of that storm activity fairly early, a couple scattered showers and storms. The main line kind of rolls through here pretty late, around 1, you know, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning or so, roughly is like the main, and it's just going to be kind of a little bit of rain after that. But the main timing for like San Angelo, probably going to be between like maybe 2 and, honestly, I'd like to give it a range here. I'd like to give a little bit of an error margin, probably between like 1 and like 4 a.m. or so, you know, just to give it a little bit of a room, because, you know, models ain't perfect. They help us out. They give us an idea, but they're never perfect. But so yeah, that'll be roughly. Abilene could see it probably between like 3 and 5 o'clock or so, 3 to 5 p.m. or so, or sorry, a.m. My bad, 3 to 5 a.m. Tomorrow morning. Which, you know, like I said, it's gonna be an early event. That's kind of the part where I'm a little concerned about, because it's going to be dark. I mean, you're not going to be able to see much. So please don't try to see the storm before you take action. You gotta take action. If there's a warning, don't wait to see it or hear it, because you won't be able to. Okay. Yeah. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted. I'll do my best I can to keep you guys updated with those warnings and stuff. Am I doing locations? If so, what's the forecast for San Angelo? We'll be doing more zip codes here in a little bit. But San Angelo, you're in a slight risk, level 2 threat. We do got to watch out for maybe a couple tornadic activity, a little bit of tornadic activity. Yeah, main concern is going to be mostly like damaging winds and stuff like that. Fairly early. It's going to be like early, well after midnight. But no hail. Yeah, hail's not really much of a concern for today. Tomorrow we have a little bit of a hail threat here from like South Texas up towards like northeastern Kansas. But yeah, today we don't have a hail threat. Yeah, it's just going to be contained from wind damage and a tornadic threat. So we'll keep you posted. Once again, it's going to be very early. Let's see. Will Payton, Oklahoma, be in severe weather danger? Here, I'll do yours real quickly, and then we're going to get back into the timing and stuff like that, the models and the overall risk area. But yeah, we'll do more zip codes here in a little bit, guys. See here, Patton, P-A-D. Is that how you say it? Patton or Payton? Let's see here, Oklahoma. Here we go. No. So you're not in the main threat, but we do have a level 1 marginal risk. So it's a low end concern, but yeah, you're still in the risk area, technically. No tornadoes. I mean, you're kind of right outside of that tornado threat. Yeah, the really thing you got to look out for is maybe just a few storms with isolated damaging wind gusts, probably consistent of around like 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts potentially. Nothing too crazy for your area. A lot of that's going to be, thankfully, to your south and southwest for the most part. Let's see. Andrew, you didn't tell me I was getting 49 wind gusts here. What? Are you getting that now? Hold up. Hold on a minute. So, Bush Pilot, he's a buddy of mine. He has a Mesonet, a portable Mesonet. If you don't know what a Mesonet is, it's a fancy weather station. Real quickly, I can show you guys something cool. He has a deployable weather station, and I can look at the data here. Data's not popping up right now because he doesn't have it deployed yet. But when we do coverage, he'll have that thing up, so we'll be able to give you guys some info or some data. Won't be very useful tonight, but tomorrow, as that line kind of rolls through, like the Midwest and stuff, that could become useful overall. But 40 knots, man, that's crazy. That's going to be some real interesting data to see, man. I'll be really anxious to see that. What's up, Calvin? Hope you're doing good. Is Wichita Falls in a high risk? So there is no quote-unquote high risk. Storm Prediction Center risk goes from 1 to 5. 5 is the worst threat or a high risk. However, whenever it comes to Wichita Falls, we are in the highest risk for today, which is the enhanced risk, which is on the scale it's a level 3 out of 5, which is a pretty solid threat. Now, the main thing that you got to look out for in Wichita Falls is going to be damaging winds. We do have that 30% risk out there, that hatch risk, where we could see some damaging winds, capable of 70, 80 plus mile an hour winds. We are talking a pretty serious, wind threat out in your area. In terms of tornadoes, too, I mean, we got a 5% chance for tornadoes. I mean, we have a shot at a couple tornadoes nearby. But yeah, by far, your main problem is going to be damaging winds. But, make sure that you have, nowhere to go, basically, if a tornado warning or something like that gets issued. We're probably going to have some pretty nasty, severe thunderstorm warnings being issued later tomorrow morning. And stuff like that, due to the wind threat that we do have in that area. So keep that in mind. I would recommend staying up for this event if you live out Wichita Falls. This would not be an event you want to sleep through. This is very early by the time it reaches Wichita Falls. I mean, HRRR, 18 Zulu run, estimating roughly 5 to like 7 a.m. Is when that line kind of rolls through. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty early. If you get some sleep, get it early and wake up early. I mean, I do want you to know that the timing could be off a little bit. Like we mentioned in the past, models, they are not perfect. I mean, they're never going to be pinpoint, but they give us a good enough idea of when we could expect that. But just know that they're not perfect, and they should be taken lightly regarding the timing. So, but regardless, it will be early. It'll likely be before sunrise. Let's see here. I'm about to go out and set it. Oh, sounds good, man. Sounds good. Let's see here. Mechanic. Let's see. Comanche, Texas. All right, we'll do one more here, guys, and then we're gonna get into models and stuff like that again. So yeah, Comanche. We are in the level 2 threat here for today. You, my friend, got a 2% chance for tornadoes, a 15% chance for damaging winds, ranging probably between 60 and 70 mile per hour wind gusts. And no hail. Like we mentioned, there's no hail threat for today, thankfully. But tomorrow there will be, but we'll get into that. But not, I don't think for you. Yeah, no, that's going to be a little bit east of you. So, all right, y'all. Let's hop to models real quickly. Kind of want to break this down a little bit with y'all. So like we mentioned, the good news about this event is that there's not a whole lot of instability. The instability is the fuel, for the severe weather, for these storms. There is a little bit indicated in this kind of purplish pink color. You guys can see the table here. I mean, if you really want to have a solid amount of instability, I mean, typically I'd recommend over 1,000. The good thing is we're going to be less than 1,000 for the most part. We call this CAPE, convective available potential energy. The fuel, in the atmosphere is pretty low for this event, so that's good. While the fuel supply is fairly low for this event, the engine, as I explained in previous live streams, is going to be ridiculously large. With that low level jet that we have in place according to NAM, not just NAM, I mean also like RAP and stuff too. I mean, we could be dealing with a lower level jet here in excess of like 80, 90 knots or so, which you don't see that very often. I do notice you do typically see those kind of for more of the, I have noticed that we do see a lot of the stronger wind shear environments, I think, towards like the fall era, which is where we're at. But yeah, so thankfully though, bottom line is that we just don't have a lot of instability for this event, but there will be enough that we'll get some stuff going on. And then you can see the dew points here. So basically all that warm, rich, moisture-filled air is just pushing up north from the Gulf of Mexico, supplying a lot of warmth and muggy conditions for the most part. And then cold front, that cooler air coming in from the backside is going to sweep all that moisture out of the way. And then really cause things to, wow, look at that, man. Dew points 60s and 70 degrees, and then we go down in time, and that gets knocked into 20s. Well, let's look at temperature-wise. I mean, yeah, this is going to affect the temps pretty well, too. Ahead of that front there, I mean, we're talking mid-70s, actually right now, right on the 80s and such. By the time that cold front pushes through, I mean, it could be much cooler. Let's see here. Yeah, in the 40s at nighttime out there. I mean, look at that. This is going to be quite the cool down, though. Wow, look at that. So this is temperatures in the morning. This is going to be for like, this is Wednesday morning here. I mean, Central Plains, we have Kansas, Nebraska, North and South Dakota. Shoot, we're going to be well in the 20s, man. And this white line's kind of showing the freezing line here. This is all above freezing. This is all below freezing. Man, is this bringing down some cold air, though? I tell you that. I mean, look at that big punch of cold Arctic air coming in here. That low pressure system's really stirring up those temperatures there. I mean, really pulling up a lot of the warm air. It's going to be temporary warm, and then it's just going to be a cold shot straight after that. Cold and dry. It will eventually turn to be more dry. All right, let's go and hop on back over to the SPC outlook, everybody. So this is the overall risk that we have here for today. Once again, the event's not expected to kick off until like late tonight. We're talking actually like tomorrow morning. After midnight is when the main event is really expected to start kicking off. Now, like we mentioned, today's concerns will consist of tornadoes and damaging winds overall. Now, we do have ourselves, like I mentioned, if you don't know how the whole scale works, we have a scale that goes from 1 to 5, 5 being the worst. So if you have a level 5, that means that it's like big severe weather event. And if you have a level 1, it's kind of a lower end, but we're in the middle. We're at a level 3 severe weather threat for this event. So that's still a decent threat. No matter what level you're in, though, you're still at risk for severe weather and potentially damaging storms, but we're in a level 3 maximum for today, which that's a pretty solid risk. Now that level 3 here is here across the orange, which this does consist of areas towards Abilene, Texas, Vernon, Texas, Wichita Falls, Texas, and a little sliver of like southwestern Oklahoma, just to the southwest of Norman, in those regions overall. This does include Lawton, by the way. Lawton is in that level 3 severe weather threat. Then we have the level 2 across the yellow here, which consists of areas like Midland, Odessa, Big Spring, Big Lake, San Angelo, Sonora, let's see here, Snyder, Paducah, some of those regions out there. Just slightly to the west of Fort Worth here too. Excuse me. Slightly west of Fort Worth here too, we have that level 2. Fort Worth itself is in the level 1 for tonight. The level 2 does go up towards Norman and Oklahoma City here. Then, of course, we have the level 1 threat, which is the low-end threat for areas like Oklahoma City, towards Fort Worth. Let's see here. Some regions like Fort Stockton, Lubbock, Memphis, and so forth. So, tornado probability. Like we mentioned, this is our tornado threat. We're going to go ahead and hide the radar for a minute because it's a little bit noisy on the screen. There we go. So this is our tornado threat for today. So these areas in here is kind of where the tornadic activity is going to be at, okay? So that does include, like I mentioned, the west central side of Texas, as well as kind of the central and southwestern side of Oklahoma. That is where we are going to have the possibility for some tornadic activity here for late tomorrow or late tonight into tomorrow morning. Like I mentioned, it's going to be dark when this happens, okay? This is going to be like post-midnight. A lot of the events going to be post-midnight, so it's going to be like nighttime, and the people are going to be asleep, so please make sure you have a way to receive warnings. I mean, like I said, there is many ways to receive warnings. You can download weather apps on your phone. Go to your settings. If you have an Apple, go to settings, notifications, and then you scroll all the way to the bottom. Notifications, it should say emergency alerts, and turn that on. Not too sure about Android. That way that you'll receive those warnings from the weather service, when they're issued. And please do not ignore these warnings. They're there to help you. And do not wait to see or hear a tornado before you take action. The unfortunate thing is like I said, you're probably not going to be able to see it coming. Actually, you're not going to be able to see the tornado coming if there is one heading towards you. And the reason because of that is, like we mentioned, this event here is going to be a line of storms, a large squall line. So basically this really large line of storms that comes through. The thing is that, these tornadoes could be potentially like embedded inside of the heavy precipitation, in which all of that heavy precip really tends to wrap around the tornado, which basically just makes it impossible to see even during the daylight. But also the fact that it's nighttime. So not only do you have rain-wrapped tornadoes, which makes them impossible to see day or night, you're also going to be at night, which, just makes seeing anything impossible. So please do not wait to see anything. If there's a warning that gets issued, you got to take action immediately. So your homework, what I want you guys to do is just know where to go in case of a warning gets issued. I know a lot of you folks out here towards the plains do have like storm shelters and basements and stuff. If you have a basement or a storm cellar, that's your first option. That's where you want to go. If you do not have a basement or a storm cellar, go to the central interior portion of your home, such as a closet, a bathroom, the interior portion. And get down and cover your head. And then, of course, even if you don't have a house, say you're living in a trailer, you're going to want to ditch the trailer if there's a warning, and you're going to want to find a sturdier place to go. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys some pointers, and honestly, it wouldn't even hurt to make sure you have a first aid kit, a pair of shoes, a helmet. In your safe spot. So go ahead and do that before the event happens, okay? Just make sure you have all that stuff together. Because, you got to think, say worst case scenario happens. I'm not trying to scare you, but say worst case scenario happens, you get hit by a tornado, okay? Those shoes are going to protect you from all the debris that could be on the ground, glass, nails, stuff. That's why we ask you to bring shoes. First aid kit to obviously treat any wounds on site. And then, of course, a helmet to help protect your head from flying debris. So just stuff like that. Put it in your safe spot. Once again, if you have a basement, storm cellar, put it in there. If you don't, put it in the central interior portion of your home, bathroom or closet in the middle of your home. And then, of course, if you have a trailer, just ditch the trailer. Go find a sturdier structure if there's a warning, okay? And if all else fails, there's nothing nearby, do not try to outrun the storm with your car, because the storm's going to be moving pretty quick, and not to mention you're not going to be sure if there's going to be down power lines or trees in the road that could block you. At that point, you'd probably want to go to a ditch and cover your head if there was a tornado there. But anyways, just giving you guys a little bit of a heads up, a little bit of advice. That way you guys can prep accordingly, because we're here for your safety. We care about you. I want to make sure that you guys are understanding the threat here. I want to make sure you guys are ready, okay? Just want to make sure that. See, sometimes you won't be able to hear or see tornadoes at all. Yeah, exactly. That's even during the day. The possibility of rain-wrapped tornadoes tonight. Even during the day, you can't see rain-wrapped tornadoes because the rain is obscuring it and making it to where you can't see the tornado. But adding nighttime to that too, it's like, you couldn't see it in the first place, but you're really making sure you can't see anything by it being nighttime. So keep that in mind. Now, also damaging winds will be a thing. To my folks who's in the damaging wind threat, especially the yellow and the red area here, if you are in this risk area, if you have anything loose outside, such as, patio furniture that can easily get blown around, plants, whatever you have outside that's light and can easily fly around, bring that indoors. Bring it indoors until the storm passes. That way, you don't risk losing your property, or you don't risk your property flying into your neighbor's window. That wouldn't be very good. So yeah, bring all that stuff in while you can, because like I said, we're going to be consisting of some pretty strong damaging winds out of this event here. Especially this area in the red, where we have that significant risk for, damaging winds. So what that significant risk means is that in this case, there's going to be the possibility of damaging wind gusts, possibly 70, 80 miles an hour, if not more. We're going to be dealing with some pretty darn strong winds out there. So that line's going to be really capable of producing some strong winds, over hurricane force. So that is a possibility of damaging winds out there. Once again, a 30% chance. So, for example, the way that this works here is that we'll take Vernon as an example. So within a 25-mile radius of Vernon, there is a 30% chance for, like I said, there is a 30% chance for damaging winds to occur in that radius. Once again, possibly 70, 80 plus miles an hour. Which is pretty strong. That is very, very strong. So just bring anything loose outside. Go ahead and do that ahead of time after the live stream. Go outside or whenever you can, just before storms hit. Don't wait. I can't even English. Don't wait till last minute to do that. Okay. Just make sure you bring in anything that can fly around. Once again, patio furniture. Anything that can just easily get float around. Make sure that you bring all that stuff in. What's up, Brandy? Hope you're doing good. Welcome. Risk doesn't mean guaranteed, does it? For example, guaranteed in level 2 risks. Nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's obviously for sure guaranteed. But the thing is that, the risk is there, basically showing you where it could happen. In this case, we have a 30% chance of, significant damaging winds. That's a 30% chance of it happening within 25-mile radius of you. So it's if it was certain, it would be 100%. But you're never going to see 100% in weather. It just doesn't happen for anything. There's never going to be 100%. But a 30%, roughly 1 in 3 shot of it happening within within a 25-mile radius of your location. That's quite possible. Quite fair. So every 1 in 3 of this setup, it will happen within 25 miles of you. Just put it. It's good to kind of do the math and kind of break it up in the probabilities. But yeah, there will never be 100%. So it's not certain for any area here, but it will. Overall, collectively, like somebody experiencing that is greater than 30%. Yes, because you have more than one area that is in that region. If the whole risk area was a 25-mile radius. If it was literally that area, that would be, 30%. But it's the more area you add to it. So like the bigger the risk area is, the greater it is. So overall, it's over, 30%. It is over 30%. Overall collectively. But for one specific area, it's always going to be 30% in this case. And 15% across the yellow here. Then, of course, a 5% across the brown. So that's that. Prox says, thank you so much for the excellent and caring information, Andrew. No problem. Like I said, we're here for you. We want to keep you guys weather aware, prepared, of course. We want to make sure you guys are staying safe and all that stuff. And, I'm going to do the best I can to help you guys out. I'm a one-man show. I try to do the best I can, try to help you guys out, prepare you all ahead of time, and then we'll do coverage on this too. That way we can help keep you guys, weather aware and stuff like that. It's certainly... certainly very important that we do get this information out for you. And like I mentioned, especially with this kind of event here, being at nighttime, I'm a little concerned about it because it's nighttime. And, I'm afraid that not many people is going to get the memo and they're going to be like asleep during the time of the storm rolling through. And that's dangerous. That's what I'm really kind of worried about. So, I mean, honestly, if you guys could, share this channel to anybody you can, really. I mean, even if they're not in Texas or Oklahoma here, maybe they know somebody close who is. It helps to spread that word. Help get that word out there. So, I mean, by sharing the channel, you can make sure that they're being on top of this as well. We're here for you. Let's see, right? It makes sense. That's why there's dud events. Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, while ingredients can be in place, I mean, I've seen this many, many times. I'm not saying this one will be a dud or anything like that, like you're saying. I'm not saying it will be a dud. I'm just comparing this like the past events and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, you can have a perfectly good setup. I mean, good instability, good moisture, good wind shear. Everything's in line, but nature just doesn't do it. Sometimes it can happen. Once again, I'm not saying this one will or won't. I'm not talking about this event. I'm just kind of saying in general, that can happen. That can happen. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, the ingredients are there for some nasty storms. Like I mentioned, I'm just really heavily thankful in the fact that there's like no instability with this event. I mean, there's hardly any thunderstorm go-go juice really for this system here. I mean, it's fairly low end. I mean, if we look at the instability table here, I mean, this is we're on the low end of the spectrum. There's not a lot of energy available here for this severe weather setup. But what there is a lot of available is wind shear. The winds in the lower atmosphere are getting pretty crazy. I mean, you can't really see that. Maybe I can zoom out and you can see it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at the table here. I mean, we're getting up to like 90 miles an hour. I mean, that's pretty high up on the grid there. I mean, it's not all the time you see a lower level jet that significant. I mean, that's pretty strong. And I'm just so thankful, like I said, that there is just not a lot of instability under like Oklahoma. I mean, shoot, if we had anything like 1,500 or greater, 1,000 or greater even, really in place across Oklahoma. Right under that lower level jet, that could be bad. But thankfully, there's just hardly enough instability at that point and at that time. So that's good, and that makes me feel a little bit better. It could always be worse. It could always definitely be worse. Let's see. I was wondering if there will be any chance or any chasers out for this event. I would think the darkness would pose a far greater danger. Yeah. There is some crazy souls out there who would chase this, but I would heavily advise against it. I've storm chased in the past. This is not a system I would want to chase. Due to the fact that squall lines, are typically just rain-wrapped messes. The tornadoes you do get out of the tornadoes that you do get out of a squall line are usually rain-wrapped messes, which you can't really see them. Not to mention it being nighttime. Yeah, no thank you. I would highly advise anybody who's even thinking, even considering, you really shouldn't even consider chasing an event like this. This is just downright dangerous type of setup here for all that. Let's see. Should I stay up tonight in San Angelo? I mean, that's your call, man. I mean, seriously. I mean, San Angelo is in a decent threat. You're in a slight risk. I mean, you got a 5% chance for tornadoes today and a 15% for wind damage. Tornadoes are going to be once again fairly unlikely for you to get a tornado, but I mean, you really don't want to take that chance. I mean, because there still is a good shot that we could have a couple tornadoes nearby. But it's going to be very, very, really kind of like mid morning, basically. I mean, shoot, this is like roughly between like 2 and 4 a.m. or so. Roughly, take that with a grain of salt. I mean, it's gonna be early, dude. It's gonna be early, but just make sure you have a way to receive warnings and whatnot. Either your phone, a weather radio, something that you can receive warnings. You're gonna want to get those warnings out there for sure. Let's see here. What's this snowstorm in Ohio? We're not going to talk about that right now because we're kind of focusing on the severe weather. I did do a YouTube short on my page earlier. Go ahead and go back to that. Go ahead and go back to our shorts tab, and you'll see that. But we're not going to talk about the snow right now. It's nothing significant, and even. Colin says, how does 74840 look Monday morning? Oh, let's see here. 74840. 74840. Let's see here. All right, so you're on the edge. You're on the 2% tornado risk out there. So, I just noticed tomorrow they added a 5% tornado risk out here for Norman, Oklahoma. I think that might just be like an extension, basically, of what's happening, because this is basically tomorrow's event anyways. But look how big the tornado risk is tomorrow. I mean, like late or tomorrow, like as that cold front, reaches the Midwest. I mean, shoot, look how big that tornado risk is. While it's, low probability, that covers a lot of ground. That's like almost 300,000 square miles that covers. That is, wow. Which that's about 31 million people in the 2% tornado risk tomorrow, and about 2.6 million in the 5% risk. For today, there is approximately 1.8 million people in the 5% and 3.8 million in the 2% risk for tornadoes today. See, honestly, your reaction was all I needed. You're the best man. No problem, man. Like I said, just glad to help out. But yeah, for this area out there, though, yeah, definitely want to be weather aware for the system here. No hail. Well, actually, I lied. There's actually a 5%. I forgot there's a 5% for day 2. A little bit of hail, small hail. It won't be anything significant, so I wouldn't worry about too much hail. Even if there was hail, it would be probably on the low end, about quarter size, maybe slightly larger in some cases. But the main thing you got to really look out for, I think, is like damaging wind gusts, and perhaps an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out towards the area. But overall, very unlikely you'll see a tornado. Let's see here. How does 71047 look? Let's see, 71047. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button for me. That way we can keep you guys updated here with future severe weather events, including this one. So this area is out by Shreveport. We do got a marginal level 1 severe weather threat. So it is a low-end threat, but you're still in the severe risk area. So it's still possible we could get some severe weather out there. Now, there is a 2% chance for tornadoes. This really covers all of Louisiana. So, there's a possibility for a couple tornadoes that could occur here and there nearby. And, of course, we do have a 5% chance for damaging wind gusts. Possibly, it's not going to be anything significant like it is expected for, like north central Texas towards like Abilene and Wichita Falls. It's not going to be anything along that magnitude, because those winds out there are going to be possibly 70, 80 plus mile an hour wind gusts. These will probably be more in the realm of like 60, upwards of 60 mile an hour wind gusts. So much weaker, but still there is that threat. And then you're outside of the hail threat, so we really don't have a hail threat for you. So yeah, just gusty wind potential and maybe an isolated tornado or two nearby, but we'll have to see. It's very unlikely you'll see that, but still, it's a risk, and you're still in that risk. So, it's still a probability. It's not 0. Let's see here. I believe severe weather will be enhanced risk might not happen because, Calvin, I mean, that's debatable, man. I mean, these are this is SPC. These are people with meteorology degrees. I think they know what they're talking about. Seriously, and I agree with them actually. Given how strong our kinematics is, I mean, low in instability, but kinematic structure on this event is just wild. We're talking 65 knot lower level jet at 850 millibars. That's pretty rough. That's pretty turbulent. I mean, that's given it overall instability too. Here, I'll go ahead and hop over to models and show you that. Where that risk is at. I mean, we do got ourselves a 60, 5-knot lower level jet here, and our instability here is about 750, 800 or so. Not a lot of instability, but good amount. But yeah, we'll probably stay in that 5% tornado risk overall, I think, personally. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, SPC, they did upgrade the wind threat. We'll see how things goes. Also we'll have to just kind of see how the atmosphere holds up to the models, because not all the time our models like I said, their models are by far not perfect. We'll just have to see kind of how the atmosphere actually is as the event approaches. You're welcome, Colin. No problem, man. If there is 3,000 K, would it make it a moderate or high? I mean, there's no way. There's a lot of other things other than just instability and kinematics, like wind shear. You also got sources, lift. Source of lift. Cloud-based height. There's all kinds of things that contribute to the risk, and it depends on what exact thing you're looking at. If you're looking at winds or hail or tornadoes, there's no way of being for sure what that would be. But mixing that with instability wouldn't be good, though. But thankfully, we're not into that. What does SPC stand for? It stands for Storm Prediction Center, which is based off of the National Weather Service in Norman, Oklahoma. So this is the official, Storm Prediction Center page. You can see spc.noaa.gov. This is the real deal. So these are the guys you really want to pay attention to. Day one outlook here. We do have that enhanced risk. Like I said, the scale goes up to 5, which is a high risk. Thankfully, we do not have a high risk today, but we do got an enhanced, which is a level 3. That's still a really solid severe weather event potential. And like I said, the 5% chance out there for tornadoes, from Oklahoma through Texas, like some of the central, west central side of Texas. 30% significant wind damage threat, possibly 70, 80 mile an hour wind gusts, possibly upwards of maybe a little higher. I mean, we'll have to see how that plays out, but 70, 80 mile an hour wind gusts will be real possible. No hail, though, out of this event for today. At least, the beginning of the event. Then hail could build in later, but we'll see. It wouldn't be anything big anyways. Let's see here. David wants me to take a look here at 72007 here. Let's see here. 72007. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, consider leaving a like, hitting that subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated, y'all. So this is in Arkansas. Yeah, so tonight we're not expecting anything out here. Tomorrow, you barely make the marginal. There's no tornado threat for your area. Just look out for a little bit of gusty winds out of some potential storms that could roll through. It wouldn't be for a while, though. I mean, yeah, it's not going to happen until tomorrow evening, just by whenever the storms get near you. So it's, yeah, just a little bit iffy. What about Dallas Fort Worth? So yeah, Dallas area here is not in the risk for tomorrow, or I should say today. Tomorrow though, we do have a slight risk. You can see that line could be roughly rolling through a little bit after sunrise. I mean, this is showing right around 9 a.m. Eastern here, so that's 8 Central. Roughly. Take that with a grain of salt. And I'd give it a little bit of wiggle room. I'd say between 6 and 10 o'clock or so would probably be the best time you could, best range to expect that. You do got a 2% chance for tornadoes in Dallas, which is, fairly low. It's pretty unlikely that you'll see a tornado out there by Dallas, but it can't be ruled out. Let's see here. Damaging winds. We do have a 15% chance out there for damaging wind gusts. The good news is that it's not going to be significant at that point. However, there will still be the potential for strong wind gusts, possibly 60, maybe upwards of 70 mile an hour wind gusts being possible. And in the hail threat, small 5% chance overall, nothing too big. Let's see here. Dude, Proxy, gifting 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Prox. Thank you for that. That is awesome, dude. Proxy, thank you for your support as always. Thank you so much for that. That is so sweet of you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Prox. Seriously, you did not have to do that. That means a lot to me. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it, Proxy. Thank you. If there's anything I could do for you, please let me know. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me, and it helps me out a ton. Thank you so much, Prox. Big shout out goes to you, my friend. Thank you. Let's see here. Hatch wants me to look at 75150. 75150. Let's see. This is in. Let's see. This is. Oh, is it Mesquite? Mesquite? I don't know how you say that. Dallas area, basically, what we just talked about. Yeah. So, 2% tornado risk out there, and 15% wind threat, and a 5% hail threat overall. So, yeah, we'll keep you posted. We'll try to be live at that point. I'll probably be exhausted around that time, but that's that. Let's see here. How about Houston, where I live, looking for tomorrow, says Calvin. So Houston's going to be good for the most part. We do have a marginal for tomorrow, for later tomorrow, like tomorrow afternoon and so tomorrow evening. Got a marginal level 1 threat, 2% tornado risk out there, 5% wind threat, and no hail threat. So, a little bit of wind gusts, a little bit of gusty winds could be possible nearby. Some could be damaging, possibly around 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Couldn't be ruled out. Then tornado threat here, we have a 2% chance out there for tornadoes, which, pretty low, but cannot be ruled out there. Let's see. Do me a solid and look at 76424 for my family. Heads up. Yeah, of course. I got you, my friend. Safety's our main thing here. Keep you guys weather aware. I'll be more than happy to help you guys out with zip codes here. Breckenridge. Let's see. Yep, so this area is in a 5% chance for tornadoes. So there will be a shot for a couple tornadoes nearby. Let's see here, damaging winds. Okay, so this area is right on the edge of that 30% hatch risk, but there is going to be potential for significant damaging wind gusts. So there's a 30% chance of seeing damaging winds. Could be ranging maybe 70, maybe 80 plus mile an hour wind gusts could be possible. Given the fact that it is a hatch risk, a significant risk for severe wind gusts. The atmosphere will be capable of producing like hurricane force wind gusts. That's a 30% chance happening within a 25-mile radius of that location. So, while the odds are not in favor, it could still happen. I mean, that's a 30%, which is still a pretty solid shot. So, yeah, make sure that you give them a heads up. Let them know about it. Let's see here. Zach says, hey, man, how does Altus, Oklahoma look, please? Yeah, no problem, man. Let's pull up Altus. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving a like for us. It'd be greatly appreciated. Most importantly, you guys can share it. It'll be much appreciated, guys. Help get that word out there. So we're at a slight risk, level 2 threat out here. Kind of a middle threat overall. We do have a 5% chance for tornadoes, so, a couple isolated tornadoes nearby could be possible. Damaging wind gusts, we do have a 15% chance for damaging winds. Could be ranging maybe 60, 70 mile per hour wind gusts overall. On the storm, 15% chance. No hail threat, though. No hail. So Altus does need to be watching out, and obviously if you if you know where to go in case of a warning gets issued, then you're good. But if you do not, make sure you know where to go if there's a warning that gets issued, okay? No problem, Hatch. You're very welcome, man. Glad to help out. What's up, Dylan? Welcome. But yeah, so we'll definitely keep a close eye on tonight. I do need to get some sleep, though, before the event, because I've been a total night owl lately. I've been trying to fix my schedule, and boom, look at it. Nature's like, oh, nope, we're going to throw another night event towards your way. So it's like, oh, I got to cover a night again, which I'll be more than happy to. It just sucks that I'm trying to get my sleep schedule back on, but that's just going to be undone. But it's for good cause, man. It's for good cause. Yeah, you're welcome, Zach. No problem. But yeah, guys, if y'all have any zip codes you want me to look at, I mean, I'll be more than happy to show you guys, what areas at risk for severe weather. Once again, the main areas here for tomorrow, like I said, throughout the morning is going to be the main event. Throughout the morning tomorrow, the main states affected is Texas and Oklahoma, towards like southwestern Oklahoma and like west central and central portions of Texas. That's kind of where the main threat is tomorrow. However, tomorrow evening, like we mentioned, that threat will continue eastbound as that cold front advances eastward, which will then put areas like Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi in the risk for severe weather. So later tomorrow evening, the overall risk is larger. So it's a larger area. So there's more people involved in potential severe weather. But the risk is lower, meaning that severe weather is a little bit more unlikely, and stuff like that. So but yeah, overall tomorrow, throughout tomorrow morning, that's going to be the main problem. As we advance into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, it should lighten up a little bit, thankfully, because the reason that it lightens up and doesn't get stronger instead is because of the fact that we're kind of using up a lot of that instability, a lot of that fuel that's available. There's really not a whole lot that's available for us, which is good, meaning that the storms could be limited by the time they approach these locations. So, but yeah, the worst of it's going to be out here towards like Oklahoma, southwestern side, and like kind of the north central, kind of central portion of Texas. See here. Just as a recap, timing for San Angelo, you said was around 2 a.m., right? Should be taken lightly with a grain of salt. Let's see, San Angelo. That's San Antonio. Whoops, San Angelo. Yeah, so it'll probably be between. Honestly, I'd even say anywhere between like 1 a.m. and like 4 a.m. Between 1 and 4 a.m. Would be a reasonable time. Whenever the storm could arrive. You just got to give it a little bit of error margin because, models are not perfect. And timing's a little hard to do sometimes. Sometimes storms fire later. Sometimes they're just a little bit offset and stuff like that. I would usually, I usually would stay up all night and day. I'm so tired I can sleep through the night. Yeah, I hear you. Are we going to be covering the event while it's going on? Yeah, I'm going to try my best to be up for a lot of the heaviest event at least. That'll be between like 3 a.m. Central to like 7 a.m. Central. That's going to be that's just going to be the the level 3 threat area. Yeah, we're going to do coverage for sure. It's going to be late night. I do need to get sleep soon though if I'm going to do coverage because I've been up since 3 a.m. I've been up since 3 a.m. here this morning, so I've been up for a while. So right now, this is basically my evening, my equivalent to the evening. But yeah, we'll be covering this. When's the severe weather event going to start? Good question. So it'll be starting roughly. Could start late evening, but the main event's not going to really start, it looks like, until like midnight. Midnight Eastern, maybe 11 p.m. Oh, sorry. Yeah, right around midnight or so is when it could start. But the worst of it's not going to be until like possibly 3 to like 7 a.m. It's gonna be a really, really late event, or early. It just depends on the way you look at it. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty rough. The timing wise. Let's see here. But yeah, guys, if y'all have any zip codes that you want me to look up just to kind of show you guys the severe weather risk area and stuff like that, feel free to throw it down in the chat, and all that stuff. But yeah, honestly, I'm probably going to be wrapping up this live stream here soon. Just wanted to get a little bit of an update for you guys, especially with that enhanced risk update that they just issued a little bit ago, about an hour or so ago. So it's good to get that info. I do need to get some sleep and stuff like that so I can rest up for the event and everything. So we'll be live to cover that for sure. But yeah, guys. See, I can manage that. Peachy, you going to be up at that time? I mean, shoot, that's going to be pretty early. Yeah, I do want you guys to be weather aware. Like I said, if you're going to sleep, just please make sure you have a way to receive warnings in a way that it'll wake you up. Once again, if you have a weather radio, perfect. Turn that weather radio on. Do not forget to turn it on and everything like that. But all right, everybody. Well, honestly, going once, going twice. If you all have any final questions before I roll off here, we're going to go ahead and call it a stream. We're going to get some rest and stuff like that. If you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button for us. It would be greatly appreciated, and sharing this to your friends and family. Help us spread that word out there, guys, so that we can help out you guys more and stuff like that. And once again, I appreciate you guys for joining us here. Everything like that. Like I said, it's got quite an event on our hands coming up here. We'll be sure to cover it, though. We'll be here for you guys. See here, A and B says, thank you for your severe weather coverage. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, local news station app's good. Just make sure you have a way to receive warnings. You can do that with weather radio. Your phones even do it too. I mean, if you have the alert turned on. Once again, for Apple, you go to notifications, scroll to the bottom. First of all, settings, then notifications. Scroll to the bottom, turn on emergency alerts. That's how you do it for iPhones and stuff, but not too sure for Android because, I have an iPhone. So, but yeah. But, all right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining. You guys take care. Have a great night. Once again, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Be greatly appreciated, you guys. And, alrighty. Let's see. Sleep well, Andrew. Hope to see you later. Yeah, YouTube procs. I don't know if you're going to be up that late, Proxy. But it's gonna be pretty early or pretty late. Depends on how you look at it. but all right, everybody. Well, thank you all for joining. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your day, your night, and we'll see you guys later on. Stream's gonna head off here, guys, in about 2 minutes. So go ahead and say your final goodbyes to your friends, your family, anybody you're hanging out with in the chat, and. Alrighty, guys. Once again, y'all be careful out there. By the way, guys, one more time, if you get in a tornado warning, make sure you know where to go. Once again, basement, storm cellar. If you have it, go there. If you do not, go to the central interior portion of your home, such as a closet or a bathroom. And if you're in a trailer, ditch the trailer and find a sturdier structure. Now, for the damaging wind side of things, right now, if preferably, just get it done. Get it done. Do not wait till last minute. If you guys are in that risk area here, once again, if you're really in the yellow and the orange here, especially the orange, really, I do want you guys to go outside on your porch, pick up anything that's loose, bring it inside, including lawn furniture, because we could have some real strong winds tonight. Possibly, once again, 70, 80 plus mile an hour wind gusts could be expected. So we'll keep you guys informed, and we'll keep you all updated with the warnings and stuff as they come through. But yeah, please bring in anything that's loose outside and stuff that could easily, go flying. You don't want that. You don't want to damage or lose your property for one, but you don't want to damage other people's property by your stuff running into their house or whatever. Anyways, but all right, everybody, thanks for joining. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and please be careful tomorrow. We'll do coverage, and we'll keep you guys updated. All right, everybody, thanks for joining. We'll see y'all later on. Peace out.